the baby monitor was a blessing, until I saw something that shouldn't exist. Something watching us from the darkness of my daughter's room. Something that knew we could see it and didn't care. Our century-old house creaked with every footstep. Drafty windows and uneven floors that had witnessed decades of families before us. The moment my husband James and I saw the nursery bathed in morning light, we knew this would be where our 7-month-old daughter, Lila, would grow up. We'd chosen this quiet neighborhood for its picturesque streets lined with mature oaks. I worked part-time remotely while James commuted to the city, leaving me alone with Lila most days in our echoing new home. The baby monitor was James's idea. A birthday gift with night vision capabilities and a smartphone app. Military-grade encryption, he'd said proudly as we installed it above Lila's crib, its glass eye reflecting the afternoon sun. Those first nights, I found myself obsessively opening the app, watching her sleep. The gentle rise and fall of her chest, her tiny form as she dreamed. I never imagined the monitor would become a portal to something impossible, something waiting. 3:17 a.m. My phone vibrated with a motion alert. James slept soundly beside me, undisturbed. The nursery glowed in the monitor's night vision camera. Everything appeared normal, except for the shape, standing motionless beside the crib. My body went cold. It wasn't human. Too tall, too thin, its proportions subtly wrong, like a stretched shadow given form. For 3 agonizing seconds, it remained perfectly still, as though aware of my digital presence. Then it simply wasn't there anymore. I frantically replayed the footage. The shape appeared briefly, a dark silhouette against the lighter background, before disappearing without movement. My bare feet hit the cold floor as I ran down the hallway and threw open the nursery door. Lila slept peacefully, moonlight filtering through the curtains. The room was empty, still, normal. But the air felt different, colder. I checked every corner. Nothing. I sank into the rocking chair beside Lila's crib, phone clutched in my trembling hand, watching her sleep while convincing myself it had been a technological glitch. I stayed until dawn. But the footage remained on my phone. Undeniable, unexplainable. Something had been in my daughter's room. The following days passed in a fog of anxiety. Each night, I dreaded the darkness. Each alert made my stomach clench with fear. The disturbances evolved. The monitor would pan on its own, slowly scanning the room without input. Sometimes I'd catch the edge of movement, just outside the camera's field of view, as though whatever it was knew exactly where to stand. And then came the humming, a soft, melodic sound beneath the white noise machine, a lullaby in minor key, almost familiar yet distorted. James found me the third night, huddled on the couch at 3 a.m. "You need sleep," he said. "It's just interference from another device. Maybe the neighbor's monitor?" I showed him the footage, the shape, the panning camera, played the recording of the humming. He frowned, offering rational explanations that rang hollow. Shadows from passing cars, app glitches, wind rattling the old house. His dismissals only intensified my isolation. The rational world had no space for what I was experiencing, yet every night it continued. Desperate for validation, I captured a frame, the clearest image of the shape, and posted it anonymously online. Most responses echoed James: dust particles, camera artifacts, pareidolia. But one response chilled my blood. "This is exactly like what happened to my sister before her monitor wasn't the only thing watching the baby anymore." The user deleted their account before I could reply. That night, I installed a second camera hidden on the bookshelf, a witness to what came in the darkness. The motion alert came at 3:17 a.m., a week after the first incident. I opened the app to find the camera had zoomed in, not on Lila's peaceful form, but on her tiny hand clutching the crib railing. I hadn't touched the controls. Someone else had adjusted the view. With trembling fingers, I tried to pan out, but the camera wouldn't respond to my commands. Then slowly, the camera began to move on its own, not randomly, with purpose. It panned gradually across Lila's sleeping body until it reached the edge of the crib. What I saw next burned itself into my memory forever. A long, pale arm reaching into the crib. The skin translucent, bluish veins visible beneath its surface. The fingers unnaturally elongated, hovering just above Lila's face. The camera tilted upward, revealing what was attached to that arm. It had a face, if you could call it that. Hollow cavities where eyes should be. A mouth stretched too wide across its gaunt face. It wasn't looking at Lila. It was looking directly into the camera, at me. Those empty eye sockets fixed on the lens, and slowly, deliberately, its mouth moved. No sound came through the monitor, but I could read the words it formed. "She's mine." A primal scream tore from my throat as I lunged from bed. James jolted awake behind me. But I was already running. 3 steps down the hallway. 5, 7. The nursery door thrown open with such force it cracked against the wall. Lila stirred in her crib, awakened by the noise. Alone, the room empty. But as I rushed to gather her in my arms, I noticed the mobile above her crib, the one we'd stopped winding days ago, slowly turning, playing that distorted lullaby that had haunted my nights. And on my phone, still clutched in my hand, the face remained on the screen, watching, smiling, even though nothing stood before the camera. We left the house that night, didn't stop to pack, didn't look back. From the relative safety of a hotel room, we reviewed the second camera's footage, the hidden one James hadn't known about until that night. It showed something neither of us was prepared for. While the main monitor had captured the entity, this second perspective revealed a chilling truth. The nursery had been empty, completely empty. No figure by the crib, no arm reaching in. Nothing physically present in the room with our daughter. Yet the baby monitor had seen it, had interacted with it. It exists in the digital space, I whispered, the realization settling like ice in my veins. It's using the monitor as a window or a door. We deleted the app, factory reset our phones, called the electronics store where James had purchased the monitor. "I'm sorry, ma'am," the clerk said after checking their records. "We've never carried that model. Are you sure you purchased it here?" The box was in our trash, the logo and brand name now unfamiliar, the text slightly blurred when I tried to focus on it. We never returned to the house, left most of our belongings behind. Some things aren't worth going back for. We've started over in a new city. No baby monitors, no smart devices in Lila's room. We take turns checking on her throughout the night, the old-fashioned way. But sometimes, in the deepest hours of night, I still hear that humming. Faint, distant, like it's coming through walls, or through whatever barrier separates our world from whatever dimension that thing inhabits. Last night, I passed Lila's new room and froze. She was sitting up in her crib, wide awake, staring into the empty corner of the ceiling, her tiny arm raised in a wave.
"You came back,"
she whispered to the darkness. And somewhere in the house, I swear I heard the mechanical whir of a camera panning.